So I've worked in an artistic field for 25 plus years. I work as a photographer in the entertainment industry. I've done that for about 10 years, and then prior to that I was working in various aspects of the industry. So I've come up with 3 life lessons that I feel like level up your artwork once you know those 3 lessons. We're going to start with number 1, which is the most powerful person in the room is the storyteller. I'll put up the rest of the quote so you can read it here. It's by Steve Jobs. It's a well-known quote. And what he's saying with this is that the people who are creating the artwork and telling the stories that go out into the world are forming the thoughts and perceptions of the world around them consciously and subconsciously. And I have a good example of this. About last week, I was going through some of my old albums, coloring books I did when I was a kid. And one that I came across was where a teacher asked a bunch of questions and I wrote my answers in it. And it basically asks, like, what kind of car do you want when you grow up? What do you want to do for an occupation when you grow up? And everything that I put in that book was so clearly what I was consuming in the world around me. So I put in there that I wanted a white Mercedes car when I grew up, which my favorite movie at that time was Can't Buy Me Love. So I wanted the car that was in Can't Buy Me Love. And that's essentially what the quote is summing up, is that what we consume becomes our conscious and subconscious mind. So once you understand this, you will be very conscious about the work that you're creating and giving to the world. For example, if you create a piece of artwork, whether that be music, photography, painting, think to yourself, if a 10-year-old were to see this artwork that I'm putting out into the world, would I be proud of that? If an 88-year-old grandmother were to see this artwork, would I be proud of that? Is this something that I would want to shape their subconscious mind? So once you understand the power behind the work that you're creating and you really sit with it, your work will change. You won't flippantly just put work out on the internet, because you'll understand that it's powerful and it matters and it does make a difference. So number 2 is the algorithm has absolutely nothing to do with how good or bad your work is. And I can prove that to you right now. Well, once you're done with this video. When you're done with this video, go to my page, and at the top of the videos, there will be a section that says popular. If you click where it says popular, you'll see that my most popular video is probably my worst video. It's not my worst, it's just I spent like 5 minutes making it, didn't even think twice about it, and it has like 350,000 views on it. Then if you scroll to the bottom, my 3 least popular videos, they have like 50 views, and they're some of my favorites. Another thing that I have that I can prove that the algorithm has nothing to do with how good or bad your work is that I had an Instagram account years ago that had a lot of followers on it. You know, back when Instagram first started, it was really easy to get traction because everyone was getting recommended and they were connecting everyone with each other. And then there was a point in time where Instagram sent out like new terms of service, and in the terms of service, you may or may not remember this, it said that they could sell any of your work that you uploaded. And so in protest, I deleted my entire account because I was like, oh, this is so wrong, I'm going to protest. I probably wouldn't do that now. I would just stop posting and see how it plays out. And then once everything, kind of got settled and the dust settled, and they were like, oh, just kidding, we're not going to do that because it upset a lot of people. I then opened a brand new Instagram account, posted all the same work that I had on my previous Instagram account, and I was never again able to get the same traction ever. So that I feel like also proves that the algorithm has nothing to do with how good or bad your work is, because I posted the exact same work and I have a fraction of the followers that I had before I deleted that account. I also feel like the algorithm rewards people who, as they say, post consistently and post often. And the reality behind that is that an artist that really cares about their work and is doing high quality, good work is not going to be posting often and is not going to be posting consistently, because that goes against the grain of being an artist. Like, when you're truly passionate about your work and you're creating really good work, you're creating work based on when you're feeling connected, when you're feeling inspired. Your work is not going to be 2 posts a day on Instagram and 1 post a day on YouTube. Like, there's no way you can do high quality work at that frequency. So I feel like we're living in a world where the people that are getting a lot of traction are sacrificing quality and, are putting out quantity. I've also noticed that it seems like the algorithm on Instagram, for example, it seems like, I could be wrong, but it seems like it, a little on YouTube here as well, that the stuff that gets virality is the stuff that is really great for training the AI, for training AI. So you'll see with photography, it's lots and lots of up close portraits so that it can scan faces, or beautiful landscapes and cityscapes. Like, those are the ones that seem to have really high virality and likes and follows and all that stuff. And now that Instagram's moved over to video, still posts of photography get hardly any traction. So it has nothing to do with if the photography is good or not, and everything to do with what the algorithm wants to train on, I think. So anyways, the point to that is, don't judge your work based on how many likes or follows or whatever you get, because it has absolutely nothing to do with how good your work is. And people who want to work with talented artists hopefully know this and don't base it on those things, because often the most viral content is the content that's feeding AI, and so it's getting virality for that reason. Or people who are posting quantity over quality. So that is lesson number 2, is don't judge your work or create work based on the algorithm, and that'll make your work better. And life lesson number 3 that I feel like will help you to level up your work is knowing that every time you put work out there, the people that are receiving your work are seeing your work through their own lens, their own life experiences, their own likes and dislikes, and that has absolutely nothing to do with your work and your intention and what you're wanting to share with the world. And while one person might love it, another person might hate it, and that has nothing to do with how good or bad the work is. So an example I have for you is that I was in college, I studied photography in college, and we would go out and do assignments and then put our artwork up on the wall, and the professor would have people kind of go around and give a critique of everyone's work. And I did an assignment where I was very happy with my portrait. I liked it a lot. I put it up on the wall. The professor liked it. We went around the room. Most people were like, yeah, it's nice, it's good. It wasn't like an award winner, but it was good. And then we came to this one girl and she hated it. She was just like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And he was like, what do you not like about it? Do you not like the composition? Do you not like the lighting? Do you not like the wardrobe? Like, what about it could have made this image better? And she couldn't put her finger on anything. She was just like, I just don't like it. And what I learned from that was that there was something in that image that was triggering for her. So it could be like the dress the model was wearing is similar to a dress she wore when her last boyfriend dumped her. It could be the model was wearing a hat and maybe she just didn't like hats because she had some experience with hats. Like, I have no idea what it was that triggered her, but it was something that triggered her. And that's what we have to remember when we put artwork out into the world, is that we have no idea what life experiences people have had or have not. And so when we're putting work out into social media and people are commenting negative comments, or in person they say they do or don't like our work, we can't change the work that we're putting out there based on other people's likes or dislikes, because they're seeing our work through the perception of their life experiences, and their life experiences are going to be completely different from someone else's life experience. So if we go back to the first life lesson of the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller, the people who are creating the artwork, as long as you're creating your artwork from a place of love and you're creating it consciously and you're putting something out into the world that is going to lift the world up and you're proud of your work, it doesn't matter if this person doesn't like it because it's probably something that's triggering to them. So that's the third life lesson that I think will help you to up-level your work, is know that once you've created a piece of artwork that you're proud of and you know that the message is going to be something that the world could do better from having your piece of artwork in the world, it doesn't matter what other people think of it, and their perception of your artwork is really none of your business because it's based on their own past personal experiences. So those are my 3 life lessons that I think can up-level your work. Number 1 is the storyteller, or I'm just going to say the artist, is the most powerful person in the world because you're creating artwork that is shaping the conscious and subconscious mind of everyone who receives it. The second life lesson is the algorithm has absolutely nothing to do with how good or bad your work is. And number 3 is that the work that you put out there is judged based on people's perceptions from their life experiences, and everyone sees your work differently. So continue to create based on your intention and not other people's perceptions. So I hope those helped, and I hope that I will see you on the next video.